Alguma vez se perguntaram por que razão é que é preciso continuar a lutar tanto para que haja tantas mais raparigas e mulheres nesta área STEM? Será que, não são assim uns ratinhos de laboratório que passam a vida fechadas, rodeadas de alta tecnologia, entre microscópios e equações complexas? Talvez não. Vamos ter aqui o exemplo de uma dessas cientistas, irrequieta, com uma mente irrequieta, inquieta, a Joana Pinto, CEO e fundadora da Clynx Health, que nos vai desvendar um bocadinho como é que é o seu dia-a-dia, como é que é a sua vida neste universo, para algumas ainda inovador, onde ainda temos que lutar tanto para provar a diferença, para mostrar que somos tão ou melhores que os homens, e portanto chamo ao palco a Joana Pinto, um verdadeiro exemplo de resiliência e de luta neste STEM Women Congress, ok? Bem-vinda, Joana.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today at the STEM Women Congress to reflect a bit on little things, big transformations. I'm someone who's very passionate about technology, innovation, and the world of startups. I usually say that I'm a biomedical engineer by training and an entrepreneur at heart. 6 years ago, I co-founded Clynx Health. During the past few years, I became very much involved in the entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Portugal, and currently I'm Innovation and Entrepreneurship Manager at Instituto de Telecomunicações and advisor at LAMPC Health. But I started this talk by naming it Little Things, Big Transformations. So let me start with this part, and later on I will also share a bit of my professional journey. For today, I picked 5 little things, 5 little inventions that might seem little at first sight, but they were quite transformative for our world and for our society. Starting with the plow. Now, the plow is something that we don't think much about in our daily lives, right? Actually, it was first developed around 4,000 years BC, and it was very transformational for the agriculture sector. But as you might imagine, the reason why I brought it in today is not that. The reason I brought it is because in pre-plow societies, both men and women had quite equal roles in agriculture, in food collection and production. And some think that the introduction of this simple instrument was really something that changed the roles in our society, that really began to change the gender roles and introduced what we call today as patriarchal structures. So I think this is quite a good example of how small innovations that might be very good for something always come with the reverse side of the coin, so we must think of them during the innovation processes. Then, the washing machine. Before this invention was created, women spent hours and many days scrubbing clothes by hand. So once it was invented, it was a key game changer because it allowed women to have much more free time to go and pursue other activities, and it was also a way for women to pursue careers, to join the workforce, and it was one of the first steps that allowed dual income households, so with some effects in the economy and in gender roles. There was some quite similar effect from this third invention, the pre-cooked meals. First introduced in the 1950s, they brought some relief for women. They brought some more time flexibility and convenience, especially for those women that were already in the workforce. And with these ready-to-eat meals, could find the most faster way to have ready-to-eat meals for them and for their families. Now, the birth control pill, one of my favorites. Actually, before the birth control was implemented, family planning was something that was really very much unreliable. And it, of course, limited women a lot in terms of education and of careers. So what we saw is that once the birth control pill was begin to being adopted, it allowed women to study longer, to go to pursue academic endeavors, also to join and engage more in the workforce and pursue more ambitious careers. And finally, the infant formula. This was something that was first introduced in the late 19th century. It was first developed to provide an alternative to breastfeeding for women, for mothers that could not breastfeed. But the truth is that besides this really important motivation, it also ended up having a good impact in our society, because today with the infant formula, mothers can also have much more flexibility and manage more their roles, both as mothers, but also as workers and as women that have a career. So, okay, I chose just a couple of them, and there's really many important innovations that we could be talking about. But let's focus on these ones for a second. What do they have in common? What can we learn from them? Sometimes small innovations can have a huge impact on society. As we've seen, even the smallest ones like the peel or the washing machine can really shape the way we see our society, the way we structure it, we can shape the gender roles, and also, of course, with an effect in productivity and in our economy. Then, even the most amazing progress can have a long-lasting, hard-to-predict side effect. And we must focus on this. As we saw in the plow, even the most amazing progress can come with a hard-to-predict effect, and that's something for us to consider. And finally, STEM can either reinforce or challenge social norms. So I think this is the key reason why we must really foster more representativity and more inclusivity in STEM, because only all of us together representing everyone can really build a better future. Okay, so now getting back to the 21st century, more precisely to our lifetime, all of these made me reflect a lot on my own journey. Okay, all of these made me reflect a lot of my own journey and all of the things, the technologies, the inventions, and even the opportunities that we sometimes might take for granted. For instance, my own personal story. I grew up in a small town in the north of the country, so actually there wasn't many people or many activities going on, but I always was lucky to find inspiration in many people, including many amazing women. One of them is my mother. She was the first woman in our family to go to the university and to graduate, and I think that all of these steps, though there's, of course, still very much to be done, also had a butterfly effect on myself. I was also the first person in my family to start my own business and my own company. So now let me share just a couple of marks that have been part of this professional career so far. In my final years of the university, I studied at Técnico and I became a biomedical engineer, as I mentioned, and I was very passionate about innovation and technology, so I joined part-time at Epicode. And for me, what was really inspiring in this experience was that we were really fostering the STEM skills in kids and in adolescents, and including some cases of initiatives where we were really fostering and empowering young girls to join the STEM, so I think this was really important. Then a bit about Clynx, the startup that I co-founded. We realized there was a very big market in physiotherapy and one with some unmet needs. We realized that many people need to do physiotherapy treatments, but sometimes people don't like very much doing exercise. And also they find it really inconvenient to go to clinics and to the hospitals several times during the week to have the physiotherapy sessions. So we designed the Clynx platform, which provides a digital and gamified approach to the treatment. So basically, the therapists can customize everything about the treatment on our clinical portal. Then the patient does the exercises at home using our gamified approach, so making the whole process much more motivating and engaging. And we use a technology, a 3D image technology that allows us to track the movements, making the whole process also more objective. Thinking about our accomplishments, there's many that make me really proud, but focusing on the theme for today, something that we didn't consider, like we were always hiring for talent and not by gender. But today, looking back, I'm really happy to see that even without making that specific effort, we ended up having quite a balanced team in terms of gender. So it sort of gives me hope that we are going in the right direction, and I think initiatives like this can also bring more and more women to STEM. A bit of Instituto de Telecomunicações, where I'm currently Innovation and Entrepreneurship Manager. We are a research center recognized as a center for technology and innovation here in Portugal. We are spread with lots of offices across the country, and we have a huge impact in telecommunications, actually with many research fields, 5 different pillars and 5 principal thematic lines, from wireless technologies to photonics, AI, biomedical applications, quantum, and many more. So, of course, I'm also very proud to be working there to foster innovation and technology transfer, and our impact is huge across STEM and on a global scale. And finally, just give you a brief overview of LAMSI, where I'm currently advising. We are helping patients and families suffering from epilepsy. Actually, there's a huge problem in this field, because 86% of nocturnal seizures go unnoticed, which can be really dangerous for the patients, and which makes the whole experience very anxious for the families as well. And also, this condition of epilepsy is very often associated with stigma. So we developed a seizure detection device that allows the patients and their families to feel safer, to remove some of the anxiety from their lives, and also to provide them peace of mind by just incorporating our device that is invisible, because it's discreetly integrated into a lamp that can be used in the house of the patients. And with that, we are able to send automatic alarms to call emergency services and provide the required medical attention as fast as possible. I'm helping the startup give the first steps towards market entry, and we are also currently fundraising, so in case someone wants to reach out afterwards, please feel free to do so. I'm almost finishing. At this point, I would just like to ask everyone to close your eyes for a second. Just think of 2 or 3 things that made a change in your journey, something that inspired you or that empowered you. You can think of it. Okay, you can now open your eyes. I hope you thought of 2 or 3 things that inspired you or that empowered you. And my invitation or sort of last message for today is really that we go and try to replicate these things that were good for us, and try to give back also the community, to inspire the future generations, to bring in even more women to STEM, because by using these things that inspired and empowered us, maybe we can also inspire and empower the future generations. And imagine only where we can get if we all work together. Thank you very much.
Uau! Muito, muito obrigada. São ou não são inspiradores?